9,000 feet up in the Rocky Mountains, a mountain goat is standing on a ledge no wider than a dinner plate. This is normal for her. This is every single day of her life. What is not normal is the sound she just heard, a deep, distant crack, like the mountain itself just broke a bone. In the next 60 seconds, 40 million pounds of snow are going to come down this slope at 80 miles an hour, and everything living on it is about to find out exactly what it's made of. This is a dramatized recreation of an avalanche event in the Rocky Mountains, built from real behavioral science on how these animals actually survive. And it is one of the most extreme survival stories in the animal kingdom.
Let's set the stage first. Because to understand why this moment is so dangerous, you need to understand who lives here. Mountain goats occupy some of the steepest, most unforgiving terrain in North America. Cliff faces so vertical that almost nothing else can follow them there. That isolation is their entire survival strategy. Predators like mountain lions and wolves can rarely reach them, but it comes with a trade-off. When the mountain itself turns against them, there is nowhere higher to run. Bighorn sheep share this world one elevation band down in slightly less extreme terrain, competing for the same patches of exposed grass in a landscape that offers almost nothing to eat for 8 months of the year. Above them both, a mountain lion has been working this slope for 2 days, patient, silent, waiting for exactly the kind of opportunity that a slip, a distraction, a moment of chaos can provide. And far below, at the tree line, a wolf pack moves through the timber, aware that anything pushed down off that mountain has to come through their territory eventually. Snow has been falling for 6 days straight, layer after layer, each one slightly different in density, slightly different in temperature, stacking on top of each other like a house of cards nobody built on purpose. This is exactly the condition that avalanche scientists fear the most. A weak layer buried deep under the surface, holding the weight of everything above it, waiting for one trigger. That trigger arrives in the form of a warming afternoon sun, hitting the slope at just the wrong angle, at just the wrong moment. The crack that the mountain goat heard was the fracture line forming, hundreds of feet across, invisible from a distance but catastrophic in what it means. Within 3 seconds, the entire slope above her starts to move. Not sliding at all. This is closer to an explosion, a wall of snow and ice accelerating downhill so fast that outrunning it is not actually the goal. Outrunning it is impossible. The goal is getting off the line it's going to take. And here is where 40 million years of evolution goes to work in real time. A mountain goat's entire body is built for exactly this kind of decision. Split hooves that spread wide for grip, a rubbery pad on the bottom of each hoof that acts almost like a natural climbing shoe, and a center of gravity low enough to make impossible-looking jumps look almost routine. She doesn't run downhill, away from the slide. She goes sideways, cutting hard across the exposure line toward a rock outcrop that breaks up the terrain, a feature she has probably used before without ever needing it like this. It is the single most important decision of her life, and she makes it in under 2 seconds. Not every animal on that slope has her advantage. A group of bighorn sheep further down the mountain doesn't have the same warning, the same time, or the same terrain to work with. Bighorns are fast and agile, but the avalanche is moving faster than any land animal on Earth. Their only real option is lateral movement too, and it becomes a brutal geometry problem. Whoever is standing closest to stable rock when the slide arrives has a chance. Whoever is caught in an open snowfield does not. Meanwhile, the mountain lion that had been stalking this slope for 2 days is now facing the same threat as its prey. Predator and prey are, for these next few seconds, exactly equal in the eyes of the mountain. The lion abandons the hunt entirely and does something almost never caught on camera. Sprints uphill and sideways simultaneously, using raw power to escape a threat that doesn't care whether you're a predator or not. The leading edge of the avalanche hits the tree line seconds later, and full-grown pine trees, some of them decades old, snap like they were nothing. The sound is described by people who have survived avalanches as less like snow and more like a freight train combined with a rock slide, a roar that you feel in your chest before you consciously register it as sound. The wolf pack below, already alert from the noise building above them, scatters away from the drainage path they know from experience is exactly where the debris will funnel. Back on the upper slope, the mountain goat has made it to her rock outcrop, but the fight isn't over. The edge of the slide catches her hindquarters, a glancing blow from moving snow that would be enough to sweep a human off their feet instantly. She's knocked sideways, scrambling, hooves finding purchase on stone that the snow can't fully cover. This is the moment survival research on these animals actually confirms. Mountain goats that survive avalanche exposure overwhelmingly do so not by outrunning the slide, but by reaching partial shelter early enough that only the edge of the debris field catches them, rather than the full force of the main flow. 90 seconds after that first crack, the slope goes silent again. Not the silence of before, when the mountain was simply quiet. This is a heavier silence. Snow settling, dust still hanging in the air, and an entirely different landscape than existed 2 minutes earlier. Where there was a slope, there is now a debris field the size of several football fields. Packed snow and ice and shattered timber, some of it 15 feet deep. The mountain goat is alive, bruised, disoriented, but alive, standing on a rock ledge above a mountain that has completely changed shape beneath her. Not every animal on that slope will get the same outcome. And this is the part of the story that avalanche researchers say matters most, because survival here was never about strength or speed. It was about terrain reading, about which animals recognized the danger in time to reach the right kind of shelter, and which ones were caught in open ground with nowhere to go. In the hours that follow, the mountain reorganizes itself the way it always does after these events. The mountain lion, its hunt interrupted, will need to find prey again within days, its energy reserves already strained by winter scarcity. The bighorn sheep who survived will regroup in smaller numbers, sticking closer to rock cover for the rest of the season. And the wolf pack, whose entire hunting range now has a brand new debris field cutting through it, will need to relearn the geography of their own territory. This is the part of mountain life that rarely makes it into the highlight reel. The fact that surviving the disaster is only step one. What comes after? The relearning, the rebuilding, the recalculating of every daily risk against a landscape that no longer looks the way it did yesterday. That is the real story of life at this elevation. Avalanches here are not rare events. They are a routine, brutal part of the calendar. And every animal on this mountain, predator and prey alike, carries the accumulated instinct of thousands of generations that faced exactly this and found a way through. The mountain goat on that ledge will spend the rest of the winter on slightly more cautious terrain, favoring the rockier ground she trusts over the open snowfields that nearly killed her. She will not remember this moment the way a human would, but something in her, built over millions of years on cliffs like this one, will carry the lesson forward anyway. On a mountain like this, that instinct is the only inheritance that actually matters.